Hey everybody, I've got a little bit of time, so I'm going to try to finally cut this nut. Hopefully the camera will focus on it. There it is. Cut this nut down to fit into this neck that I put on the remnants of the Epiphone SL. Remember, I threw this thing off a bridge and it broke in a million pieces, and then I glued it up. It's looking pretty punk rock. But this is the original nut off the SL, but as you can see, it is just way too high for this particular neck fretboard. I made some kind of marking on there, I think against the original neck. When I had it, I shipped that neck out and gave it away to a viewer who's going to do a project with it. So I have the marking on there. I think I need to sand it down to where the black line is resting against the fretboard. So that's what I'm going to try to do right now. I'm just going to try hand rubbing it against some sandpaper. I should probably measure out how big that gap is and mark it along the bottom for some kind of reference, but I don't actually know if I have a way to measure something that thin. Alright, well here I go. I'm going to try my best and see what happens. If I completely mess this up, I'm just going to take this guitar to a guitar tech friend of mine and have him put a nut together for it. Alright, I've sanded it down pretty good. I'd put a Sharpie line on the bottom about the width that I thought I needed to sand it down. And as you can see, I left a lot of nut dust here on the sandpaper. Came off really quickly. I was thinking I was going to have to break out some kind of power tool at some point, but man, nut material just sands down really quick. I was surprised. So let's see how that fit is. See if we can get a focus on there. You see that the my black Sharpie line is resting directly on the edge of the fretboard there. Looks like a decent fit. I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll glue it down with a little bit of Elmer's, and then I'll put the stop tail bridge back on this thing and string it up just to see if it plays decent at all without any electronics in it, and then make a decision as to whether or not I need to have a pro address the nut, meaning cut a new nut for it, or if it's worth putting together a pick guard with electronics and pickups for this thing at all. So let's get started. Let's see what happens. Alright, I'm going to put the smallest little dab of Elmer's glue in here, maybe a little bigger than that, just to hold the nut in place. That's bigger than I wanted to go. Oh well, whatever. Man, this camera does not want to focus today. Pull a little extra out of there. Just enough to hold the nut in place. Keep it from sliding back and forth. I honestly have no idea how these things are normally done. I've never done any kind of nut work like this on a guitar before. So I've got it strung up, and the strings are still just way too high. Completely ridiculously high. So what I'm thinking, we joke about this on the podcast all the time and on our various groups and whatnot. I think this guitar wants to be a slide guitar. Another thing is, I have to have the bridge cranked up super high. Obviously this neck needs to be shimmed next time I have to take this thing apart, but I think I'm gonna see what I can do with it as it is, and drop one of the original pickups in the neck, and just hang out an output jack around here somewhere and just see if I can get some slide guitar going. Let's see what happens. Well, I've got it all together. I slapped the original single coil into the neck position. It's almost lined up with all the strings. I used a bit of wood from a paint stirrer stick to hold the output jack in place. It's not grounded. There's no ground going to the bridge of this guitar at all. So it is, it's got a lot of character, I'll say that. Let's see how it sounds. I'm running through my pedal board down here. A couple clicks to sync that. Almost forgot my slide. Not bad. Is this thing gonna end up being a permanent slide guitar for me? I don't know. I mean, the strings are definitely high enough on it. Let's do some kind of little jam thing here. And also, sorry for my my bare feet. I know some people get very upset whenever they see images of other people's feet. It's super hot in here. I'm not gonna put shoes on. You're lucky I'm wearing sandals.